just
Roll plays like they're fun.
Good morning. How are you both?
Hey!
Hey, good morning.
How's it going?
Good. Doing well. Emerson, how was the seminar? I understand it was virtual.
Yes, it was different for sure, but necessary. You know, as a speaker, it was quite interesting, but I missed the person-to-person contact.
Winston, how many houses do you have going now?
Currently, I have 8.
Wow, 8. That must keep you really busy.
It sure does. I close on 2 of them next month, so it'll be a little more doable at that point. How's your family?
Everybody's good. The girls' school is virtual. It's keeping us busy. Emerson, have your classes started yet?
Yes, classes started this week.
How's your schedule?
3 classes, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and 2 classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You know, I'm department head this year, so it's a whole lot more administrative duties. Do you miss teaching?
Sometimes I do, but not often. Winston, how has your week been?
It's busy. I've missed some details this week that have caused a few problems for me. The building foreman talked to me and seemed concerned about it, but I'm trying to pull it all together.
I know what you mean. The details have gotten away from me as well. I just don't feel I was emotionally ready to come back.
I understand. So it sounds like both of you have had a challenging week.
Definitely challenging.
Yeah, for me too.
So Emerson, what are your thoughts on why the week was so difficult?
I've been concerned about going back to in-person classes. The uncertainty of COVID, you know, my wife Ellen, you know, being diabetic, and the concerns associated with possibly exposing her. We're all being very careful, of course.
What precautions have you taken?
Well, of course, social distancing, masks, temperature checks, and the typical COVID questions. We've made all meetings virtual, and the university is doing contact tracing. Everything that can be done to ensure everyone's safety, but really, is it enough?
How does Ellen feel about your return to person-to-person classes?
Well, she understands the decision to return, but, you know, she's afraid. She tries not to focus on it, but she tries to be as supportive as she can.
I know her support is important to you.
Yes, it is.
Other than COVID, any concerns with Ellen's overall health?
No, Ellen's doing very well. She's quite stout, you know, and she takes care of herself, so there are no concerns.
Winston, other than missing the details, are there any other concerns that you had that caused you to have a bad week?
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to lose my job if I keep missing the details. I start to panic and have anxiety when I think about losing my job.
Winston, how do you feel when the anxiety begins?
It's hard to breathe. I can become emotional and start to worry about all the little details I feel I am missing. I lay awake in bed constantly worrying and thinking I'll lose so much sleep.
That's exactly how I felt this past week. I experienced panic. I got very hot, you know, my face started feeling like it was getting hot and turning red. My heart rate, I could feel my heart pounding really hard in my chest, and it was like tightening up in there. I was panicky. Ended 2 of my classes early on Friday.
So you stopped teaching?
I did. I just couldn't continue. My panic debilitated me.
Exactly. I felt overwhelmed, panicked, anxiety, stress that just took over.
So both of you have experienced similar physical and emotional anxiety this week that caused you to not perform at the level you wanted to. Emerson, you had to end 2 classes on Friday because you didn't feel you could continue. And Winston, your panic is inhibiting you to see the job through.
Yeah, pretty much.
What do you think would have happened if you had continued?
Oh, I would have had a meltdown.
How was Monday through Thursday on you? Did you have any of the feelings you had on Friday?
Not like Friday. I mean, I felt a little anxious, but it wasn't debilitating.
Good. You made it through the first 4 days, but not the 5th, right?
Correct.
So Winston, during the week, when did you feel your anxiety coming on?
Well, my supervisor talked to me on Wednesday, and it just intensified from Wednesday on.
It must have been very difficult for both of you. You were both feeling a great deal of anxiety.
Yes, and embarrassed. I'm not sure if they were paying much attention. At least I hope they were not.
It felt isolating myself to try to fight the feelings of my anxiety off.
Okay, so I'd like each of you to focus on an image or a situation that might bring up the same type of negative feelings that you both have described from events that occurred this week. You recall what you felt, feeling hot, your face turning red, your heart racing, your tightness in your chest, panic, anxiety, loss of sleep. I'd like to try something called the push button technique, as long as you both feel comfortable with it. Can you recall something, a situation or image that brings up these negative feelings? Winston, what comes to mind?
In high school, I had a 4.0 GPA until my senior year, and I lost it when I took chemistry class. I wanted my parents to be proud of me, and I was afraid I'm going to disappoint them.
Emerson, what image comes to mind for you?
Well, I feel anxious anytime I have to take an airline flight somewhere.
So thinking of these two situations, does it bring up the same feelings for you that you both had last week?
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah.
When you think about flying and disappointing your parents, how afraid does it make you feel? Using a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being the most afraid.
Oh, 10 for sure.
Same for me.
Okay. I would like to move away from that feeling of panic. I'd like for us to try something called, again, the push button technique. I'd like for you to think of a time in your life or an image when you did not feel anxious or panic, but felt rather happy and content.
What comes to mind for me is back when I went to do some mission work at the Dominican Republic.
What feelings do you have as you think of that experience?
I was very happy, balanced, felt very connected.
Winston, what is an image or situation that comes to your mind when you felt self-fulfilled, happy, and content?
The completion of building my first custom project.
Okay, so two different experiences. One produces a negative response, the other a positive response. My hope is by recalling these two different experiences, one negative and one positive, it can help you both to navigate through the panic and stress you feel at times.
So if I choose to focus my attention on the positive experience, the negative experience will fade.
It's worth a try. Sounds good.
Yes, you will learn to control the emotions you're feeling, continue to try and recall other positive experiences, and when the feeling of anxiety begins, use those experiences over the course of the week to calm and control your mood. Same time next week?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, see you both then.